for?
Facebook. Are we live?
Should be live.
I think.
Hello, everyone.
I think get it started.
Glad to have everyone with us. We're here in Dick and Patty Bartlet's living room, and we're going to show you what we do literally all day long when we have time and not working.
All night long.
So we're going to ID a couple of snakes for you. Some are going to come in as we're talking. But to introduce everyone, my name is Jason Compton, founder of Snakesnap, and I will not be the expert today. A year ago, I didn't know one of these, but now with the help of these guys, I have learned a lot. And so we'll introduce Mr. Dick Bartlett first. He's got his new gear on. Sean McKnight and Jake Scott. You guys ready to get into it?
Let's do it.
What you got? Y'all be nice over there.
It's a little close to me. Gun protector right here.
Far too
close. Far too close.
Let's see, where we want to go first.
Got 3 watchers.
Three watchers. There we go.
Seven.
Hey, 3,
7 watchers. Hey.
Welcome, welcome.
Oh, it's on left. Stay back. Here we go.
Let's see. We'll go to
Just do it in
Aiken, South. Oh yeah, we can go in order.
Go right
Why
down the line.
not?
Sure.
We'll start in Alabama. Phoenix City, Alabama. Here. What do we have?
Brown water snake.
Yeah, brown water.
Just that quick.
Yep.
You know,
And it's in shed, as you can tell. His eyes are blue.
Cloudy.
Eyes. Yep.
And now a lot of people would think because of the triangle head, Jake, this is an example, of course, a non-venomous snake showing a triangle head in a defense pose, right?
Sure. A lot of snakes do that actually, and they will flatten their heads and sink in their neck to look a little more intimidating. But as you can see, this is not a venomous snake. It looks like somebody may have flipped it under some trash or something, maybe in their yard or near a water body. But yeah, this is a harmless snake. It's a frog and mainly actually a fish eater. And so yeah, it's.
Where are you going to find this? Mostly by water, obviously, or can it get away from water? We have a lot of people ask that because they'll find
Preferably
these
at
snakes.
river systems.
Right.
And they're very common. They're a good climber, and you can find them up to 15 or 20 feet high in the trees. And if frightened, they're one of the snakes that oftentimes drops into underpassing
Boats.
canoes and boats.
Right.
You get a lot of people saying that they had a cottonmouth jump in there.
Right.
In their canoe, it's usually one of these guys.
Right.
Yes, very true.
What are the distinct markings on the brown water snake here? This one's kind of hard to tell, but anything specific that stands out against other water snakes or ice calm? They almost look like dog bones on the top.
Yeah.
You could really see those markings. This is kind of hard to
Square
tell.
markings on the top, alternating with lateral markings
Yeah.
that are equally dark and equally squared.
Do you call those blotches?
Blotches, yeah.
Right.
Next.
Next, let's see.
There we go.
We'll go back to. Let's see. So this one, same Phoenix City. I'm not sure that is the same one. We'll go to Indiana next. What do we got here?
It's an eastern garter snake.
Okay. Caught in a net.
Looks like it was in some sort of net or minnow trap.
Let's see. What's the immediate tell for a garter, Dick?
Keel
Stripes?
scales and the
Keel.
light lateral stripes, but there is now a post on Snakesnap about the diversity of garter snakes, and we just put that up today. You got to pick it up, Jason.
I was working at my other job earlier all day. How many garter snakes ballpark are there in the U.S.? I mean, California has what, 40? It seems like.
A few fewer than that.
Species and subspecies. Yeah.
Nick and I are always like, oh great, Texas, California, we got to get the book out for all the garters here. How many did you say in the U.S. roughly?
All species and subspecies together, I would say there's probably 30. What about it, Jake?
That sounds about right.
Sean?
30-ish.
30 sound about right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In some states, it's just the eastern garter.
In many of the states.
Many of these, yeah.
Northern, up north, really.
You get the maritime garters, you go up north,
Yeah.
a little more yellow.
Right.
And the blue stripe when you're down south in Florida.
Cookie.
Oh, Dick, yeah. Oh, yeah, you gotta keep that physique. There you go.
Sean. These are Patty's famous cookies, so.
If I put it on the floor, the dogs will lick it.
So I'll eat it.
Okay, next.
All right, next, let's see, we'll go back. We'll go to Aiken, South Carolina. Ooh, here we go.
Eastern hognose.
That's a nice one.
Nice red
A little
coloration.
bit too big there. So
young
what is
one.
I mean, even a year ago, I would look at this and think it's gonna kill me, right? Because
Sure.
of the head, big fat head, short and stubby, not a long tail. So not something that the typical things you would go off of with a racer or something like that. So is this marking distinct, or is that the tell for you, Dick, when you see this? Or I mean, obviously you know it, but
It's just overall, the markings are characteristic. That is probably a newborn or at least a juvenile.
mm-hmm.
And it is apt to go to any one of number of colors as it grows. Can go from pure black to orange with the blotches to tan with blotches. They can be identified positively by the underside of the tail,
Right.
the coloration there.
And the nose rostral scales turned up.
Yeah, even from a top-down shot like this, you can see the characteristic pointed snout where they get their name.
Now, a couple of things about this snake. It's got a little acting skill, right?
The world's greatest bluffer.
The world's greatest bluffer, and not even a poker player. But Sean, what goes on when this snake does its acting gig?
So in my experience, Eastern hognose will usually, they'll flatten out their neck like a cobra and put on a loud hissing display with false striking. And it's pretty threatening looking, and if you keep, messing with them, they'll then go from acting, tough to acting dead. They'll flip upside down on their bellies. They'll hang their mouth open. They'll stick their tongue out like ah, and
Even regurgitate.
yeah, they'll regurgitate, and they'll poop. They'll release a smelly musk to seem dead and rotten and stinky and gross.
And what happens if you turn the back onto the right
If you
side?
flip them right side up, they just go right back on their back because they're like, nope, dead things are on their back.
Yep, dead things are dead.
And it's like if you really were dead, you probably would stay however I put you, but they'll keep going on their back and they'll writhe around. Oh, woe is me,
And what about, is this snake venomous, non-venomous, poisonous? I mean, what would you say? Everyone gets mixed up with this.
If you're a toad, you're in trouble.
Call it a rear-fanged snake. It's in the family Dipsidae, and it is a rear-fanged snake that produces a little bit of toxin in its saliva. It is probably not fatal to humans, but they can produce a livid and swollen area at a bite site.
Mm-hmm.
But in order to get one to bite, you really gotta be.
You gotta
screwing
want it,
with
you gotta
it,
work
like-
at it.
Or if you have a captive one that's used to you feeding it, sometimes it's a feeding response to get bit. But
I'd say, like the vast majority, almost all instances of bites with this species are with captives.
yeah,
Where a person was feeding it and got bit, and honestly, most of the time, I know people personally who let them chew on them, like let them chew, don't even try to get it off. Yeah, because they're like, it's a little science experiment.
Yeah.
They get to just see, because it's like, oh, I'm technically being bitten by a venomous snake right now, and there's some instance in some textbook somewhere, some medical book, where somebody's got a pretty gnarly swollen finger or wrist or something because they let it chew on them for like 15 minutes. And if you just don't do that, that's why we have to say technically yes, they are venomous, They're not, but you find a hognose snake in your yard, it's nothing to worry about. You know, you step on it barefoot, you're not in any sort of danger. So, you know, in
And
all
what do they eat, Sean?
toad specialists primarily, they love a good toad.
And that's what they use that nose for. That upturned,
Yeah.
upturned nose is actually used for digging in the loose soil for toads that bury themselves down.
Are these cool finds when you're herping? I mean, if you find, or
People love finding these.
right?
Yeah, this is a big
I love finding these.
How
Yeah,
big will
lots
they
of
get? How big?
The eastern hognose is
2,
the
3,
largest
4.
of hognoses, and they'll reach 4 feet in length. Although I've never actually seen one that big.
Males
we
are
just-
usually smaller than the females, and you can get males about 24 to 28 inches, and females up to about 36 inches usually.
You gotta see the snake game too.
Yeah, they do.
All right, this one just came in as we're on, and this is actually from my home county in Lady Lake, and we get this pretty much if it comes in from Florida. I can flip a coin, and it's probably going to be this snake coming up here. Oh, we gotta refresh.
Is the inbox?
Sorry.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go. So we're going.
Second one down from the top.
There we go. All right. So what do we got here? This looks harmful.
It's a juvenile
This is-
southern black racer.
So it's not gonna hurt you.
Absolutely not.
We
Nope.
get a lot of these because obviously you just said black racer, right?
Here we
It's
go.
not
yeah.
black.
Yeah, they go through an ontogenetic change, which means they change from a juvenile state into an adult state, and they will actually almost always turn solid black as an adult, especially the southern subspecies. Will change from a blotched snake with orange blotching and light background color to a almost solid snake with a white chin. And so a lot of people, when they see them, they don't think that they're both the same species, the same animal, but
A lot of people, people will, they'll send in one of these, we'll tell them it's a black racer, and they'll say, well, it's not black. I know what a black racer is. This isn't a black racer.
How big
No,
is this baby though?
It's a baby black racer.
How big
And
is
they
this?
mistake it very frequently for a pygmy rattlesnake.
Yeah,
right,
Pygmy
when they're
rattlesnake.
little, right?
Similar, circular, semicircular saddles on the back.
Show
markings
the
on
eyes
back.
too, Patty. There.
That's
And
a
big
when you
eyes.
have those big
Yeah.
bug eyes like that.
Such a
They
pretty
will
boy.
rattle their tail. They'll shake their tail, but they don't have a rattle when they're threatened.
But the pygmy rattlesnake is difficult to hear too. It's got such a small rattle, and especially if it's a neonate, a newborn, it has only one button on it, and there's no way for that to make any noise at all.
So the big eyes
You
and the
can
big
start
tail.
to tell this one
Very
gets
elongated.
a little
Very
darker. If we
thin.
saw the bottom there, we could probably see it going more solid. This is a cool snake, a little pixelated in the back. But,
And if you are fast enough to actually get your hands on one, because they will almost always try and escape and get away from you. That's their first response.
Pretty
There's a
aggressive too,
super
right?
good chance that it will bite, but you could really say that for any wild animal. If you were to get your hands on a squirrel, probably try and bite you.
Yeah.
No
yeah.
probably about it.
They could try to bite you.
So that's just behaving defensively, not aggressively.
Yeah.
You get picked up by a giant predator, you're gonna try and protect yourself.
Of
Yeah.
course, if Jake gets bitten by it, we'll be able to hear him in Monroe County screaming.
Yeah, I don't like it. It's not fun.
all right, we'll get off this one. Let's see, we'll go Timberlake, North Carolina. This just came in. What do we got here?
Oh, cool.
Ooh.
There you go. That's a nice one. Yeah, Mole King, isn't it?
Mole King,
Yeah,
right.
It's a nice one too. Real
Oh.
light.
There you, oh, come on. Finicky.
Very cool find.
Again, I don't know, the colors might be, but yeah, that's a really nice looking animal.
So you said it's a mole king snake.
Mole king snake.
What makes it? Is it pattern, color, head? I mean,
All
someone
of the
sees
above.
this. All of the above.
Difference
They're
between
a
the
very
mole and
strong
the prairie.
Constrictor, and they eat lizards, frogs, toads, hatchling, I shouldn't say hatchling, newborn mice. They get to be about 4 feet long, 4.5 feet occasionally. And they're, to my way of thinking, a very desirable snake to have in the area. They are immune to the venom of the pit vipers and also eat small copperheads, cottonmouths, rattlesnakes. They're not necessarily an avid enemy of those, but if they happen across one and they're hungry, it's going to get eaten.
They won't say no to.
And they're adept burrowers. That's why they're called the mole. There you go. Good catch. Yeah, they spend a lot of their time underground in burrows,
Three more come in.
mole burrows or any other kind of burrows, but that's why they call them mole, because they dig. And also their neck is almost indistinguishable from their body, which is another way to tell them apart. They almost have just their head goes right into their body. So it's a very direct shot from the head to the body, yeah.
What would you call, for people that would not know, these
I would call
blotches?
those saddles.
Saddles.
Is
And
the
saddles and blotches, same or different, or?
Same, about the same thing, really.
Yeah.
Occasionally, blotches would be a little bit broader. If they were wider, I'd call them blotches. If
And
they're
a
narrow-
corn snake can look similar. They have less blotches or saddles than they do. They're a mole king, obviously, if you look at it, there's a lot of blotches on the back. And a king snake, or sorry, a corn snake will have less and bigger blotches.
just 8.
Oh, there's Mission.
Alright, no, we just got 4 in.
Oh, nice.
Wow, they're really coming in.
So yeah, this is a great one to find. This is a good animal.
So let's see, we'll check, while we're doing.
Difference between a mole and a prairie being the
Subspecies.
in the sides.
Yep, just subspecies.
Blotches on the side, but visually.
Visually, the blotches on a mole king are blotches, I'm sorry, not on a mole king, on a prairie king, are blotches rather
Where do you wanna go?
saddles.
Out west a little bit. Oklahoma.
That's
Oh,
good.
that
There you
is
go. Yeah.
cool.
What do we
Black eastern hognose.
Black Eastern Hognose.
Like we saw the young one a little while ago.
You
as
know
can
how
tell.
having lunch?
we just were talking
Yeah.
about how they like to eat toads.
Mhm.
That's
There you go.
pretty good. If you find one eating, this is probably what you're gonna see.
It's a good example.
A couple of toad legs sticking out the mouth there,
Yeah.
and they can eat a toad that is surprisingly large. You can see how bulged out the neck is.
Because of their jaw, you just be able to open, wide open, or?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they're a thick
And they're
bodied
they're
snake.
a thick-bodied snake
Yeah.
also.
Yeah, so they can eat larger prey. And as we saw earlier, the snake was a more of a light colored or kind of a reddish color. They can change, like you said, change from multiple colors. A lot of them turn this dark melanistic phase, like this one here.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Anything else on this one before we?
Fine.
It's pretty similar to the one we just saw, so yeah, similar.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got. A lot coming in from Florida. Yeah.
Yeah, as the winter goes on, we're gonna get a lot more from Florida. Less places, other places.
Yeah.
Alright, let's see. We'll go up to Pennsylvania,
Do it.
go up north.
7 Valleys.
Seven Valleys.
Pennsylvania.
Oh, hey.
Nice black rat
Alright.
snake there.
Yeah, juvenile.
Let's see if I can work this thing.
It's a great photo. This is a good example of the photo you want to take.
Uh-huh.
Clear.
Boy, this.
The better the photos are, the more positive we are on all of our identifications.
Yeah, showing just a section of a snake is a little difficult.
Just a zoomed in little shot of somewhere in the middle, not super helpful. Really far away.
There we go.
There we go.
There we go.
That's a good photo.
Yeah, this one is just eating something.
And note that this is a black rat snake, and like the black racer, the juveniles are strongly patterned with a light background color.
So they will eventually go all black,
They
or?
will eventually,
Eventually.
depending upon where they are in the range, the eastern coastline snakes will turn all black.
Now, there's some tails up here on the face, right? Kind of, it's like is it on all rat snakes where you have the black, almost looks like a little mask,
Like
right?
the line.
They
Front,
do have
right,
a, yes.
right here,
Across the nose.
across
across
the
the
nose
prefrontal.
almost. It's hard to
Prefrontal-
tell.
Yeah, prefrontal scales.
But yeah, you can see that if you get a good view of the front of the
Sure.
snake's head.
It's a little hard on here, but yeah. I mean,
Yeah, it's tough.
But either way, this you can easily tell just from the body
Wrapped in
shape and
that
the
tree.
color and the location what it is.
And that one looks like it's got a good meal in it.
Yeah,
Yep, just ate.
Eat
Hanging
something.
out on
maybe a
a
skink.
stump. Probably a skink. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
that's
thinking.
what it looks like in right there.
Yeah, that's another one.
Skink or fence lizard?
Fence lizard, something in the tree. Yeah, probably. Maybe even a little. Well, it's probably the wrong time of year, but a bird. But
So this is a little, we just got another one in. This could be a good, better, cleaner photo almost.
Hi, Patty. You can turn around and look at
Patty,
Patty.
do you want to, where is the, right here, Sonoy, here we go. Now this is a pretty good picture here.
Oh yeah, that's what they filmed it. Walking Dead.
Pretty.
Yeah.
It is. That's a
Did
little
they?
fact. Little fact. It is. Yeah.
Fun facts.
It is. Yeah.
All right,
So we have
so-
another rat snake.
Another rat. Now do they all have these, what would you call, I mean, whiskers or?
Sutures.
Sutures.
The black lines and the sutures.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And these are pretty common. I mean, we're not on a water snake, but you see some of these on a water snake.
Water
That
snakes
is
as
kind
well.
of an immediate.
Garter snake.
Garter
snake.
And that's the telltale difference between garters and ribbons.
Yep. And cottonmouths don't have it as well.
Yeah.
Vertical, no vertical lines.
That's
But
right.
the cottonmouths do have the pattern on the front of the rostral scale,
They do. Yeah.
vertical patterns. Where was this from? I didn't.
This is Sonoy,
Sonoy,
it's like
Georgia.
Eastern Georgia.
Okay,
It's like a gray rat area.
yes.
It's a young gray rat. Yeah, Sonoy is like right on the border of Alabama, sort of. Yeah, I went to the Walking Dead set one time. I remember it.
All right, we'll try and find. Let's see. What do we got here?
Oklahoma. Is that Aiken? You did that Aiken already.
Mm-hmm. Colorado.
Sure.
Go out west.
We're going west.
Ah, here we go. So what do we have here?
Well, it's a young Pituophis, which is either a bull snake or a gopher snake, depending on where this is found. They're young, they look a lot alike.
Now, are they like cousins, bull and gopher? Would you say?
Different subspecies.
Different genus,
Right.
same genus, different.
Okay.
subspecies.
I try to break it down because I didn't know anything a year ago, so I have to resonate to something that's simple.
Using some very technical terms here, so.
Make it up my own.
Yeah.
But bull and gopher, is it strictly location, or can they cross?
They could interbreed.
Oh, yeah.
They can.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
they could interbreed,
Okay.
but
Texas.
they're generally, the bull snake is a little bit more easterly than the gopher snakes are.
Okay.
And I'd have to find out exactly where that is in Colorado to tell
What did it say, Windsor?
exactly what it is.
Windsor.
Windsor, Colorado?
If it's in western Colorado, it will be a gopher. Eastern, there's a little separation there, a gap between the two.
You know, that could be
The
either.
Rocky Mountains.
Could be either a bull snake or a Great Basin.
Or Great
gopher
Basin, yeah,
snake.
that's true, yeah.
Is this is that the west version of our rat snakes? Maybe.
They
in a
are
way,
closely
pines.
allied, but not
Pine.
the same.
Pine snake, yeah.
But as far as frequently seen out there, like
Yes.
we see
They're
rat
very
snakes?
common, they're a good borrower.
Mm-hmm.
They get very large, and a predominant food is pocket gophers
Okay.
and pack rats.
Hence the word gopher snake.
And it works well for them.
Yeah.
Windsor's just east of Fort Collins, just by Fort Collins.
That would be a bull snake.
Bull
Bull snake right there.
Boom.
So we got a young bull.
Very
Good
good.
job, there we go.
I just found this one. This is pretty good here. So talking about water snakes, where did that one go? It's another Oklahoma, right here at the bottom. Okay. Oklahoma City. Here we go. Definitely venomous, right?
Definitely non.
Non-venomous. I was like, wait a minute. Whoa.
Tricking you.
You got it.
Look at the sutures on the mouth. Look at him spreading out his head. He's scared and he's worried.
And can you click on the head?
So what
there?
what is this one?
If you click on that, zoom
Guys?
in there on the head.
Yeah.
It's a water snake.
We know that.
These are the lines we're talking about. The sutures, when we say sutures, on the lip.
Yeah.
Is it a Midland or Midland Northern
Well,
or a lot of the
I
same,
have to
right?
go back
and
to
this
the book for that
photo
one.
is kind of is tough. What
What would you say the
There's both northern and plain belly water snakes. They're or blotched water snakes, and they're very similar.
What did you say the location is?
Oklahoma City.
Oh, so that's
Oklahoma.
eastern Oklahoma. Is that what that is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but as you can see, again, this snake is also flattening its head, triangular-looking head.
Right. And
Trying to look
I would like
fierce.
to mention while we're on it, this is like a really good, this is the kind of photo that is good for us because we'll get just like a little bit of the middle of the body or something, or really far away. And also, you don't need to grab the snake. We ask that you do not touch or get super close to snakes that you don't know what they are. So just, within a few feet, you're safe from the snake, and you don't need to touch it, and you can get a photo that's just fine for us to use.
Yeah, a full body shot would be great.
Who is that?
Full body
on
shot,
camera.
well lit.
Yeah, preferably not dead. If it's dead, if it's something that happened accidentally, that happens. But if it's something that you caused, then that's it's just you should ask first, and then we'll tell you later. Did it? So blotched water snake.
Blotched.
Blotched water, right?
Yep, blotched water.
How many? Probably 3, 4, 5 water snakes in Oklahoma. Maybe.
Geez, about 4 or 5, right? They blotched. They had diamondback waters, northern waters in there, right?
In Oklahoma?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's, I think there's 3.
Midland there, maybe Midland.
No,
even too.
just northern.
Just northern there.
Okay.
Northern blotched, and
Is Mississippi green there?
you'd have to fit the other one in, because I don't know what it would be off the top of my head.
Diamondback.
Close.
Close.
Tell you what we could do.
This person got it into a jar.
No, we have a jar picture.
This one, well,
Not great when you don't know what something
Yeah,
is.
still not recommended. That's too close for comfort.
but this is a
Thankfully-
good example of kind of the things that we have to siphon through. This is a Georgia one, so let's see. So this person, we have not been able to respond because there's only 9 digits in the phone number.
Yeah,
So, we can't get a text back.
If you want an answer, it helps if
Whoever's
you actually
from
send us your proper phone number.
Roswell, Georgia, we need an extra digit here somewhere.
Can we do the picture? Is there a picture
I
attached?
tried to guess, but it never would go through. So, picture. We got one.
Oh wow. Okay.
So,
They got it in a
let's
mason jar or
see.
something.
Where is it? Where's this at?
Roswell,
It's
Georgia.
like in green water, isn't it?
I
Somewhere?
think it's a
Hey.
band.
Is it abandoned?
Zoom in.
I really
Come
think
on.
Scroll.
Oh, I hate this computer.
it's-
There we go.
Oh wow.
Baby
Sure
water
it's just
snake?
abandoned.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think it's.
I think you're right.
Oh my gosh.
New hatching baby
What?
water.
It's brand new, whatever it is. It's
Brand
young.
new.
Don't get a Chromebook. Oh, there you go. So you gotta get the young guys in here to do all that.
There you go.
Yeah, it appears to be abandoned water.
Just
The
a
good part is it's
abandoned
not
water
venomous.
snake.
It's
Yeah,
not
so
venomous
this
snake.
person is
How
lucky.
can you tell that immediately, Dick? Just
I look
for
at
the
it.
users out there.
I mean, a cotton
Years of doing it?
is
Yes,
not gonna
I
have
think
just,
it's experience.
the shape is not, it's not like Hershey's Kiss shaped, as they say.
It's very
It is super dark, but that's also mostly just the photo. Like, see, you
Yeah.
can tell that the light source is from behind the
That's right.
snake, so we're essentially looking at the silhouette of a snake here. This is why flash exists.
And it is to determine that it's harmless, it's got a long, slender tail,
It does have
not the short, stubby tail that most of the pit vipers have.
And also at that age, a young pit viper, with a young cottonmouth or copperhead would have a yellow tip.
It would be prominently banded as well.
It would
and that
be more
even
vibrantly
show-
colored,
Or
yeah, for
vibrantly
sure.
colored, it's really dark. Even though it's still like, it'd still be lighter
I
colored.
believe that one actually is a banded water snake.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yeah, it is. It's not the greatest photo.
Yeah,
but
so it
we can
helps.
tell.
Yeah, it helps to have it be, actually lit so that we're not just looking at an outline.
Yeah, the light behind the snake, if you're facing, the light should be behind you, and then that way you can see the photo better. Or like Sean said, a flash, which would be very helpful.
Yeah.
I don't know about in a jar because it might reflect off.
Right,
of
but
glass.
if you were taking a top-down shot,
Sure, that would work.
they probably didn't want to have their hand super close to the top in case it is venomous. But in that case, just don't catch it when you don't know what it is.
Yeah, exactly. Leave it alone.
Leave it alone.
Or try your best to get a photo of how it was.
You can take a photo from several feet away. You can zoom in. You can do a lot, and we'll be able to get it. You do not need to catch the snake
Yeah.
ever.
We do all that, huh? Oh, where are we at? Is it this one? Yeah.
That's clear water.
So, wait.
All right, go for clear water.
Ah.
There you go. That's a good one there.
There you go. That is a nice find.
Neonate Eastern Diamondback rattlesnake.
Beautiful,
Little baby.
just
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
What a nice looking snake.
So Nick, who's not here with us today, I think he's watching this live. When we first started this, he would always look at the background to tell how, because it looks huge, but then when you see the brilliant grass
Yes.
behind it,
Blade of grass and on a curve that's.
he used to always go,
Yeah,
that's got to be
baby.
out west because there's dirt and, nothing, no grass, just a bunch of rocks and things.
Get a
But
14 to 16
He was
inch
right.
neonate, and then they can grow to an 8-foot adult if they're very lucky.
how big, isn't this one of the biggest, or in fact biggest, right?
The longest.
In the western are very, very close to one another.
But they used to
No,
be able, they
there's a lot.
used to get them at 8 feet. Now it's hard to find one that large, but that's the size.
People-
of
Four
it.
yeah.
and a half to 5 feet is about
That's
what
okay.
the
Yeah,
average
they do
maximum
that.
nowadays.
Yep.
People
Average
get too
size.
nervous, they kill them.
Yeah.
He's in my property.
Now, will they could be very quiet though, right? I mean, if you
Especially at
have
this
it-
size,
This
there's
size.
only a button on there, there's
Terminal
no
button.
other rattles
Yeah.
to make any noise. It's a problem with newborn, with neonate venomous snakes, especially pit vipers, the rattlesnakes, because there is no way that they can make noise even if they shake their tails.
But there's a very prominent diamond pattern on this animal, as you can tell, outlined with bright white outlines, basically. And the head also, you can see on the nose, there's also white lines around the black eye band.
Beautiful little
Nice.
snake.
I got one.
It's a great one right there to find.
Yeah,
That
there's
one
really-
you should leave alone, for sure.
Definitely leave it alone, and there's really no reason to mistake that for anything. It is.
There's nothing else really.
Nothing
like
looks
around
like it. If you get confused about that, you don't know snakes.
And when we say a diamondback water snake, I've noticed, I mean, it is very, very faint, if it even is a diamond.
nothing
You can
like
tell.
this.
Not like that kind of
Nothing
diamond.
like this.
It's almost
yeah.
like a trace of a diamond.
It's like a zigzag of the color, the bands. This is a little.
I never thought that was even a very good name for
No.
This is sort of the Volkswagen Beetle of snakes. You really know what it is when you see it.
Yeah, that's right.
Exactly.
You look at it, you know.
All right, here you go, Dick. I got one for you. From Lubbock, Texas.
Texas, there you go. Hey.
It's a pretty thing.
Another person
King
caught it.
snake.
Hopefully they actually knew what it was and were just testing us.
It's a desert king snake.
Is Lubbock, Texas? Yeah.
Adult or neonate?
No, that one would be,
That's a
I
little-
guess it's in a small jar.
It's a little. It looks like. It looks like.
It's a,
look at the
not a
person's
neonate,
finger.
it would be a hatchling.
Yeah, it's a
It's
young one.
much thinner than that person's finger. So
A baby then.
Yeah,
That is a-
juvenile.
And this is the
Very
time of year,
small.
in the fall, when you get a lot of juvenile animals. This is when they are popping out eggs and neonates. So that is a neonate.
Hatchling.
That's a hatchling, sorry.
Yeah.
That's a pretty snake.
That's a beautiful snake.
Egg layers of hatchlings and live bearers of neonates.
Isn't it true that they eat other snakes?
They are immune to the venom of the pit vipers, and yes, if they're hungry and their paths cross, they
And they're
will
big
eat
enough.
venomous snakes.
And they're big enough. He can't eat, he can't eat very many other snakes.
They're powerful,
Depends on what
powerful
they're-
animal.
You're right.
could eat a small. Where did we say this?
A lot
was?
of little
I was
crown
gonna say-
snakes.
I was gonna say pygmy, but
Lizards,
Yeah.
tasty lizards,
Texas.
succulent little tiny birds.
Massasauga.
little Massasauga.
Yeah. Lubbock's in the Panhandle, isn't it? Where's Lubbock? somewhere up there, anyway.
So big.
A little baby copperhead.
Yeah, copperhead,
For
definitely,
sure.
definitely, yeah. At that size, it's probably eating skinks, small skinks. And maybe even their littler, smaller snakes.
Very prominently saddled when, throughout their lives. There's
like
very little
short
change in
headed and
patterns.
stuff too. I'm not sure.
And they are immune to the venom of the pit vipers.
Where's this? What's a
that's
good
a
gray
good
rat?
Gray. Let's see. We got a.
But yeah, that's a nice little find there.
Jake's been trying to find one of them for quite a long while.
Desert King.
How,
A true Desert King, yeah.
What snake eludes you the most? Did you get what you were looking for out
I
west?
can answer that.
No,
You
we
can?
didn't,
I
but
can
Jake
answer.
can tell you what one eludes me the most.
Yeah, I can, I certainly can.
I've been looking for the Texas lyre snake for about 60 years now.
Texas liar snake.
Yeah, Texas lyre snake, and I have not found one yet.
We've been around when people were finding them around us, but.
Here we go. That's
He's a garter. Where is this from?
Pennsylvania.
This
Oh,
is
yeah.
from
Eastern garter
Eastern
snake.
Yeah, Eastern
Yeah.
garter.
Very pretty.
And this is a very typical aberrancy where they do not have well-defined stripes. They can be checkered, they can be striped, they can be white, bluish, reddish.
This one looks a little
orangish.
young.
They
Extremely
can have
variable.
light bodies with dark stripes, but usually are dark-bodied with light stripes.
You think it's a neonate or a sub-adult?
Hard to tell.
Hard to tell
Looks
in his
thick.
background.
That's cement,
Yeah.
dude. Those are quarter-inch pieces.
Yeah, I don't know, it's definitely,
Yeah,
it looks like it
for
might be a
sure.
little older than a neonate. Is
Is it from Florida? It
Mhm.
looks like a Florida one.
That's a checkered
Yeah.
individual. Some
Yeah,
of
that's a very pretty little
that's very
snake.
pretty. Some of the maritime garters look a lot like that too, a lot of yellow on the
Yeah,
sides.
they do.
It's getting up there
That's
anyway, it's
Florida.
heading towards that area, it looks like. So. But it's definitely a garter. It's great. Harmless.
Completely harmless.
What do you garter snakes eat again? Lizards,
Earthworms?
Frogs.
A
frogs.
lot of frogs, a lot of small fish.
Easterns tend to
So
feed
they're
on
healthy.
cold-blooded prey. The westerns oftentimes eat a lot of small rodents and birds.
I've found them eating dead tree frogs that were smashed on the road.
Yeah.
They like that.
Yes, sir. During rainy, when it's raining out,
Yeah.
yep, you'll see them out eating off the road.
And what do we have here?
Okay, well we get a lot
Just
of miss. This is Florida, so
It's abandoned.
So somebody will send this in and we'll tell them,
cottonmouth.
this is abandoned water snake. And they'll say, are you sure? And we'll be like, yeah, we're sure.
Yeah, we're sure that's what it is.
We're just flipping coins, right?
We've only seen about, I don't know, between all of us, 1,000.
When you've seen far too many, you just know.
GB race? Yeah.
Is that banged up there a little
Yeah,
bit?
it's dead.
Hmm.
But yeah, seen many, many hundreds.
Florida
and
banded water
hundreds.
snake, they feed upon frogs, fish,
Man.
cold-blooded prey primarily.
Carrion?
Dead frogs hit
Sure.
on the road for
Mm.
sure.
Again, yeah. Yeah, they'll scavenge.
Dead fish? I have
Dead
it on
fish
the
off the
road.
bank of a river.
Dead fish. Yeah.
Down by the river. Let's see. This would be good. Nashville.
Nashville, Tennessee.
Mhm.
Bring it in. Here we go.
Let's see.
And that person was probably at least 10 feet from that snake, and we can still
Adequate.
immediately tell what
Right.
that is. You don't need to get close.
Need to do nice, clear pictures.
If you can just hold your phone steady, though,
Yeah.
that helps.
Calm your nerves for a minute. That's, you're
Here we
scared.
go,
Know that you're
Nashville.
scared.
Yeah,
Little rat snake.
Yeah, juvenile.
Where's this from?
Nashville. So again, that what would you call this? Because I
Click on the
almost
head
looks
there.
like a Darth
Got the tongue
Vader.
sticking out.
It's probably going to be an intermediate between a black and a gray.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about the line, the band across the,
Sure.
the nose, the front prefrontals.
Oh, the band
Is it
across
just
the
a
prefrontal
marking?
scale.
Does it have a cool name? Or no? Can we give it one?
Prefrontal band.
a head mustache.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Handlebar.
It's like a unibrow.
unibrow. There you go. I was
A
gonna say
unibrow,
unibrow. I call it
really.
unibrow. That's what it is.
See? There you go. We just
We've named it, but that's, yeah, that is,
like that.
you can distinguish.
That's how we're gonna.
A lot of rat snakes have that. Looks like there's some issues going on with the camera here. There's maybe water on it, or again, maybe pixelation issues. Or a cracked screen.
This looks like the person has
Broke
water on their
phone.
phone.
Yeah, or something like that. But again, this is a perfectly fine
Perfectly
photo.
good photo.
Yeah, for identification purposes anyway.
Yeah, a little banded water. Is that from Florida? Is there? Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a cool
We get, so in this area, this area right here, it may not turn black. It may actually keep the saddles and stay lightish colored, because it's in an area where they both.
Yeah. Let's see.
Thank you for manning that
Louisiana.
camera, sweetie.
Someone
Yeah,
Glad to do it.
Patty's killing it over there.
Glad to do it.
She's yeah.
Do you want a cookie, Patty?
We'll pay Patty
I'm
Patty
cool.
the cookies that she made herself.
I ate most of them already.
Yeah, I've already had like 6. That's probably too many. That's my dinner.
I
Though.
want you to know that I made those cookies.
Oh, did you?
Yes, I did.
Well, they're horrible then. I take that back. Dick's always trying to make me fat. It's working because those are delicious. I'll have some more.
What do you think we get the most of, Jake?
The most species?
Well, we've had, we've now gotten over 6,000 of these in a little over 3 months.
Yeah, I mean, probably the most prominent animal you'll see is a racer, rat snakes, water snakes. I mean, that's probably for the East Coast.
That's what persists in developed areas. You'll see black racers in gated communities with manicured lawns. They'll live in the bushes and eat brown anoles.
Exactly, yeah.
You
Very
know,
adaptable.
you get a lot of human development. You lose a lot of other species.
Diversity does not survive where the humans do.
They don't like concrete generally.
No.
And you know, there's other species that might be somewhat plentiful, but they live underground, so you're not super likely to see them. So racers are out and about, they're active during the day. A lot of snakes are primarily nocturnal, so you might be less likely to see them. But when you're out mowing your grass, people see a lot of black racers, very common. And also rat snakes will hang around. You know, they'll climb on people's walls and such.
People leak rodents.
You know, if you ever played the game Snake, like they will do that shape on like a brick wall follow the cracks in the brick wall. They can climb straight on the flat surface. And
You'll find that game right next to Snakesnap on the Apple Store.
you can go download it.
But they're great for rodent control. I mean,
Exactly.
why wouldn't you want them?
They hang around people because people have pests, because people have lots of food hanging around, so they get rats and mice. And,
How big when hatchling and how big when adult, Sean?
hatchling will be under a foot, you know, about as big around as like a Sharpie, and your finger maybe, and you know, can reach 5-6 feet as an adult. I've never really seen one bigger than that.
An impressive snake.
Yeah, we got a 6-footer in the backyard of my house there not too long ago.
Cool.
Yeah, that was a big one, big yellow rat.
What you
But
got
yeah,
next?
We got something back there.
But why wouldn't you want? I mean, rodents carry more disease than snakes do, and people they just see snakes and they're automatically afraid.
All right, I got one that we haven't had yet here. Let's see. We got a lot.
You don't get snakes chewing holes in your cereal box and leaving turds in your pantry, you know?
You're talking about our mice now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one, I believe. Yeah, I think so. We didn't get this one yet, did we? No.
Ah, milk.
Beautiful little milk snake.
Where is this?
This is in Connecticut.
Oh, Eastern milk.
Eastern
Young-
milk.
A baby, young one.
Yeah, it's a.
Now, similar one would think to a rat, right? A rat snake or a corn snake. First
they
glance,
were
because of the head, maybe.
In
you
the
know,
same
something.
grouping, it's the gopher snakes, bull snakes, rat snakes, and king snakes are all part of the lampropines.
Once in the same genus, way back when.
Way back.
Yes, they were once upon a time. Yeah.
But that's an eastern milk neonate. It's nice, and I'm sorry I said neonate, and I mean hatchling.
There you go.
And it's bright red now on the saddles, and as it gets larger, the saddles will darken and usually become a gray to an off red.
Yeah.
How big is this baby, would you say?
Oh, probably 12, 15 inches.
Nick, how about the rocks? You're looking at that. I know you are. Nick's at the fire department.
This isn't somebody's nice
Snakes do not
landscaping
grow up.
area.
Here
Yeah,
we
that's,
go.
that's somebody's.
That landscaper, I got those,
All right,
I
I
tell
got a
you.
good one for you guys. All right, we good there? Any other thing that we need to know about? Why do they call them a milk snake?
Oh, that's actually a good question.
I'm full of those. Come on.
There's an old myth that farmers would tell where they would these snakes would go into the barns at night and latch onto the teats of sleeping cows and drink the milk.
That's exactly what.
That's exactly right.
That's it.
It happened, or was this some
No, it didn't. Yeah,
Why
that's
stand?
what I was like, yeah.
Was this guy drinking? Or
Yeah,
what?
so-
One of the old wives'
Moonshine?
tales.
Was he doing
It was all moonshine. Yeah, had a little too much to drink.
Yeah, but that just
bad milk.
shows the kind of ridiculous stories that surround snakes.
It sounds like one of the.
Something.
Is there ones that are more ridiculous?
Oh,
Let's not go there.
We could go all night with the crazy snake stories.
Okay,
You
what's
ever hear of
next?
a hoop snake?
Hoop snakes, that's
Hoop
right.
snakes?
Bite their tail and roll
Keep
out.
going, Sean, you're on that one.
You're on a roll. You're on a roll,
Talk
literally.
about the mud snake.
So,
The mud snake is-
you know, and
There you go.
what's actually interesting is there's a similar myth from I had a friend do a
All right,
study.
Patty,
on
this is
it.
for you.
Such a cutie,
Patty knows
There you
it.
go.
Patty knows it.
such a cutie. Look at, he's
There's
so
a lot
flat,
to tell
so
on
cute.
this one. So we got pygmy rattlesnake, correct?
Mhm.
And if you could see the tail, what color would it be, Jason?
That's right, yellowish green, but that is, when I first learned really everything, this was one of the first things I learned along with the ringneck that I found in my pool. But copperhead, cottonmouth, and pygmy in our area in Florida, bright yellow tail, pretty easy detection if you know what you're looking for, right?
When they're younger.
When they're younger,
when
juvenile,
they're young.
juvenile.
Right.
And notice that this one does not have a real diamond-shaped or triangular-shaped head. They can flatten out, and the
He's
head
looking
can
up.
be triangle. But right now, it looks very much like a harmless snake's head.
Yeah, this is
in the head bob mode.
pretty similar to a hognose snake looking there. But yeah, Jake is talking about the behavior where they will you know
Jerk
they're
their head.
very twitchy and they'll jerk their head sort of like this, just with that sort of frequency and speed.
And they're short and stocky with a short tail.
Yep. And
Are they the smallest of all the rattlesnakes?
They actually grow up to about 33 inches long, so they're a lot bigger than most people see. But,
when you happen upon a large one, but
yeah,
now-
very large.
But yeah,
but
yeah.
overall,
You're
the
talking about
smallest.
an 8-inch neonate.
Right.
Now, in my area, I live a lot of road construction, digging up the land, and pygmies, coral snakes are notorious burrowers, right? So folks are gonna see these more, or
Well,
why are they seeing more? of them?
pygmies aren't really a burrower
They're
necessarily.
not open area.
They'll
where-
inhabit, say, a gopher tortoise burrow. You can see them going in. and
Well,
out.
okay, so that's why, because in our area, a lot of.
They may go down. They won't burrow themselves. They might find a
Gotcha.
hole to go on, or a
They're
stump,
trying to hide.
root stump, that hole that they've been dug out. Things like that. They go under logs.
They don't
But
want
they will sleep out. They will coil up in a bunch of wiregrass
Under palm fronds.
or palm fronds.
Yeah.
And you often see them sunning or on the edges of roads at sundown and actually still being on the road thermoregulating after the sun has disappeared.
Just last night, I saw two right within 15 minutes of sunset. Just on a short drive, just on a dirt road, stretched out, flat, very flat.
Ooh, here we go.
Relatively
I
common
remember
thing to
this
see.
one.
In certain parts of Florida.
Yeah.
This would be a good one here. Another Texas. Texas got a lot of stuff.
Texas, they do.
Anytime I see Texas, I go to the book before I even open it.
Yeah.
Let's see. We're running out of room here. We have to go to. Is there a next page already? No.
Not yet.
Canadian Texas is where we're going.
I see it. Second one up.
Yep.
Or from
I
there.
remember this one. See you like this.
Canadian.
Canadian.
Texas. Oh, interesting. That's
Interesting.
Seems odd there. Oh, it's like a saga, isn't it?
Yep.
It's a saga, yeah.
It is. The
Massive
cousin,
size.
So you
cousin
would-
to the pygmy rattlesnake.
Both in the same genus, yeah. Sisterus.
But
It's a similar.
A lot of people would look at, think rat snake because of, just for the person that doesn't know. If they're looking at a corn snake, what would be the difference here in the head? That head really doesn't look like it's too big, right? What would be the immediate tell for a person to know?
That would be difficult. In this particular individual.
It's got the markings on the side.
Rather than the rounded mid-dorsal blotches that you usually see, this one has got the hourglass figures on the front.
But it has
But
a
notice,
two lateral
we
blotches.
need to take a look at the tail in most cases. Because, and I'm not sure the tail shows here, but there would be a rattle on it.
Small rattle, but it will be one. Eyes, vertical pupils, pits. From this angle, it's obviously difficult to tell, but.
Does that go any further up, Jason?
Can you see the tail on that thing? It looks like you should be able to.
Yes.
Bing, well, you can kind of see it. It's there. If you look, zoom in, there's a little rattle. They have a little rattle anyway because they're a smaller rattlesnake. But you can kind of see it.
I count 2 segments.
Yeah, there's a couple segments.
Yeah, that's a young snake, or it's lost part of its rattle.
Sure.
A little hard to see in this photograph.
They add a segment to their rattle every time they shed their skin, but you can't determine the age from the size of the rattle because they do, as Dick just said, they'll break off.
Depends how well they eat. Eating well.
Gets caught on stuff, and yeah, they shed. Their growth is dependent more on how much they eat than how old they are. So if they're shedding more and gaining more rattle segments, it just means they're eating more, not necessarily.
Yeah,
places
the
in-
latitude they're found in.
Exactly. Different places, like it's a warmer place, they're going to obviously be able to eat all year round. They grow larger. Mountain snakes in the mountain, in the wintertime, they aren't going to eat. They're going to go down and they'll be hibernating through the winter.
You don't grow too much when you are hibernating for a good chunk of the year, quarter of the year.
Going back to Pennsylvania. Here's a good photo.
That is a northern black racer.
Yep.
It's a good example of a sort of like in between stage where it's starting to get solid black.
So you've got the
Started-
starts
started
right about
in the
here,
dark.
dark, you can't really see.
But do note, long and very slender.
Right.
And if,
Large eyes.
if you were watching this in real life, would be extremely fast.
Yeah, most venomous snakes don't dart off like these guys do. They're speedy animal in the US.
Nothing.
The US anyway.
Nothing in the U.S.
Not the
would
US.
like that.
Other
Yeah.
than Massasota's
You know.
in Kansas.
They're quick, but are they fast?
Yeah.
There's a difference.
These are fast.
And these will just like glide away, whereas you get, say, like a pygmy rattlesnake or something on the road that will spastically kind of like waggle with no grace whatsoever.
Yeah, there's less S movement with these guys. They're almost a straight line when
They'll
they
just
move.
glide.
They go straight. Yeah.
Now you will see. What do you?
Periscope.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll see
You'll
that.
see them sticking out of bushes with their heads up, sticking out of tall grass, just peeking around.
It's a very visual
Well,
animal.
they're daytime.
They're
hunters,
daytime.
right?
Yes,
There's
it's
no-
diurnal.
So they're
Well,
using
a year ago, like I said, I would think I was going to step on one, so I would tiptoe at night. Now I just go on through. I don't
Yeah, see, that's the knowledge you gain from
That's it.
learning.
So
But it's
you
not-
don't need to live your life in fear.
Yeah. Knowledge is not knowledge equals less fear.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you know,
What do we got here?
it's a lot less stressful not being afraid of something completely harmless.
It's not hurt, is it? Trying
Nope,
to find
that's a
any,
good one. That's a good one.
anything dead. We get a lot of dead submissions, unfortunately, but is it typical kill, ask questions later, or
Sometimes you get roadkill.
just roadkill?
It is
Yeah,
roadkill.
sometimes people see a dead one on the road and they'll just be curious as to what they found. But yeah, a lot of people will kill a snake as soon as they see it and then try and figure out what it is.
And then they complain when they kill the water snake of frogs, right?
Yeah, so
So
Yeah.
we killed their defense, is the way I say.
Some people will kill a snake before they see it, not a lot. People are much more aware than they were 5 years ago.
Well, and that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, this is the
right?
hope for this app right here is to to educate people.
We're gonna teach differently. We got a lot more coming. Where was I at here? Did we do Dallas,
People
Georgia yet?
get comments.
I don't think. Yeah. Is there any?
Oh, someone just sent a picture from Periscope.
That was me.
Oh, was it? Okay, cool.
All right. This is cool. This is another. This is Georgia. What do we got? Ground snake decays.
Yes, sir.
Storaria.
Storaria.
Okay.
Cornered.
Slugs, worms. Is that it?
They're a slug or they're a soft body vertebrate eater. They're slugs, worms.
Delicious soft-bodied things.
There you go.
We always.
Very
Do
harmless.
they all have a darker head, or can that be?
Actually, that snake is very dark.
It's a dark
for
one,
right.
for a brown snake. They're usually a good deal lighter than that. That would be, I believe, a Midland, that's their Midland brown snake. And I don't know why it's quite that dark, because it's well illuminated.
Yeah.
How big is that snake, would you guess? 18 inches?
14 to
maybe less.
16 inches,
Yeah,
probably.
maybe about right. It's bottom of a box, looks like they captured it. But yeah, they're a completely harmless snake. And they spend most of their time below surface debris. They aren't really something you'll see very often.
Looking for something soft and succulent to
Right,
dine
yeah,
on.
when it rains, they'll be out and about looking for their prey.
They are where the worms are.
Yep. When it's moist, they're up and about and they're looking for
This
food.
is my-
Or out under logs looking for food.
So people see them in their gardens a lot, weeding, or dealing with, if you've got, firewood, you pick up some firewood to throw a log on the campfire. There will be one of these guys under
Stay
there.
nice and moist under there, yeah.
They love to get under flagstones if you're using them around the garden.
Yep. Big flat stones.
Let's see.
And you'll see the white markings in between the scales. That's the skin. You'll see that when they have just had a meal, or if they feel threatened, they can puff up their body a little bit, and they'll also look like that if they are farther down in the body, if they are gravid, ready to have babies.
How big are the babies?
Oh my gosh, so tiny.
3
How
inches?
big exactly? They'll curl up on a quarter easily.
Yeah. And these guys give live birth, they're neonates. But yeah, they're 3 inches,
About,
4 inches.
About 4.
4
yeah,
inches.
about 4 inches long.
Extremely skinny.
Real thin, yeah.
You couldn't even pick. They're like, it'd be like trying to pick something up.
Earthworms.
Yeah.
They're tiny.
Let's see. We had one live come in.
Oh, coming in hot.
Reboot.
Which one of these ones? It's at 2% already.
2%.
Which one of those?
Let's put some right there.
Here you go. I got you right here.
Little.
No.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah. Yep.
There you go. We just had to recharge.
So this is where I live, Sorrento.
Sorrento,
Florida.
Yeah, that's where I live. Dark picture, but
Yeah. This is
The
where flash is
old-
very handy. All phones have them.
so if I know you, take your flash next time.
What
Probably
is going
in my
on here? It's like a
neighborhood.
duplicate. Oh, they took it's like an interesting.
Oh,
Is
this
that a
is.
mat?
You know what this was? This was somebody
Panoramic.
accidentally took a panoramic.
It's a panoramic.
photo.
It's exactly. It's like a glitch in the Matrix. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is pretty terrible.
Yeah.
It's about as bad as you can do.
Oh, I hope
Yeah.
Corn snake though, right?
Can you
Yeah.
click on it
Yeah.
to zoom that?
I don't know if that was a young banded water snake. It's hard to. Wow.
I would say. I think
looks
I
more
would
banded.
say
It doesn't have any spear on the head?
Can't tell.
Can't tell.
there's
But-
no definition
it's
to
a
this
water
photo.
snake.
It's more banded.
It's a water
It's a
snake.
Florida water snake. Yeah. That's. You can tell because the
Yeah.
bands go around instead
Wait,
of the saddles.
go.
Here,
It's
you
pretty long
take-
and skinny. I would say
Yeah.
look at this saddle right here.
Is there a broken saddle?
The shape of that, the way that it's
Man.
inwards like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like so.
Send another pic in.
Who is this? Send it in.
Let's
Zoom out
see.
again. Real quick. How many bands are there? It's a lot.
Ooh.
But it just looks banded.
But it is, it's a Florida banded water snake.
Yeah, it looks like the bands go all the way around the side. I mean, it's hard to tell from there, but I mean, the color it could be. It looks like it's orange, but you know, water snakes also orange.
A
So.
lot of them, a lot
Young
of the
ones,
banded
yeah.
babies are.
But also the color could be wonky just from the. I have no idea what's going on in this photo, honestly. It's on a rug. I'm not sure.
Looks
And
like
this is bricks, and then
Carpet.
Carpet. Maybe?
yeah, it looks like a door mat.
Yeah, well, maybe that's the problem. It is a front door mat. It's exactly what it is.
So yeah,
It looks
and
like it might
this
not be-
person just opened up their camera, accidentally had it on panoramic mode.
Maybe panic mode. That's what it looks like to me.
Sorrento, you're not representing very well. Dang it, peas. Better not be you. Alright, so I had one picked out.
Uh-huh.
Okay, here. Wait, going back to Texas again.
Texas.
They got everything.
Midland, Texas. They do have a lot of stuff.
Uh-huh.
So I spend a lot of time there. Too much.
There we go.
There you go.
Aha!
You said you never
Desert-
found one of these?
Not a log desert king. No, not a
There
live
you
one.
go.
Very
Found
pretty
one that looked exactly like that on
I'm
a
a slacker.
trip to
It
Arizona.
looks big.
I spent far too much time out there. I haven't really been looking for them. We'll just call it that. I haven't been looking. We got a Mexican black king last trip.
Jake always says if he can't find it, it's because he hasn't looked.
That's haven't looked for it. Yeah. I haven't focused on it yet. Anyway, that is a desert king snake.
It is, and
It's
that's
a very nice one, actually. A very good example.
Strong constrictor, 4.5, 5.5 feet long when it's fully grown. It has dark saddles, very small dark saddles,
Where's it from?
and then the strongly patterned sides.
Black head, which you already
And
said.
immune to the venom of pit vipers. The head is usually much darker, with broader bands than the body is. Some of the head patterns go down another 3 or 4 inches, and they call them sock heads.
Yep.
Alright, okay then. Oh, let's see.
Harmless and very beneficial.
They are.
Well, Dick, this came, if I can find it, from Nick. Nick just sent this
Is
in.
he on? You're looking at it right now? You're watching? Hey, Nick.
Hey, Nick.
You said you got a periscoping something?
Where is
Yeah,
this?
let's see there.
Gosh, I can't see the, there we go, it's at the top.
Mount Dora.
Now,
Nick, you should be working.
fighting
So
fire.
Nick's the COO of the company, but he's saving lives today, as we say.
Oh, he's working today?
He is.
Good for Nick.
Yeah.
Fighting fires, catching babies.
Nope, that ain't it. Oh,
Where is it from?
Mount Dora. You see it out there?
Let's
Top
see.
one.
Very.
I gotta
It should be the top one.
Should be go up. Yeah, go up. I don't think you're at the top.
I can't see
it.
it.
There you go. There you go. Mount Dora, the very top. There you go.
Nick, let's see what you sent in. I've
Find the
seen
snake.
This one. Find the snake.
There's your find the snake here. I see him. I sees him.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Hello.
There he is.
Peekaboo.
Again, like we said earlier, a very visual snake. This animal is probably hunting a knolls or other. It's probably in Florida. It's probably hunting brown and knolls.
For sure.
And what
For
is it,
sure.
Jake?
It is a southern black racer,
There you
an
go.
adult. As you can see, it's got dark head and a light shin.
Sure, it's pretty, isn't he?
It's really cool. Yeah, that's a good shot.
That's a wonderful
That is
picture.
oftentimes how you see them in the backyards or in somebody's manicured garden.
So we want to start. I know people have been doing it, but don't kill your black racer. Name it. So
There you
I
go.
believe that's Rico, and if I'm wrong, Nick's gonna be mad at me.
Rico.
Rico, the racer.
Suave.
And we have one that has been with us for 4 years now. It hibernates or rumates in the side of the house and comes out on every warm day, suns with the tortoises and has a good time looking for brown animals in the yard.
And its name is.
Its name is Blackie, of course. We're very
Blackie,
innovative.
Aptly named. Yeah. And why's that?
Just because of his
I got it
name.
right.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not because the snake is green or anything, it's
No.
really a black snake.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
Let's see. We'll show this one.
Oh, there it goes.
Whoops.
All right,
That's what
and,
cases are for.
yeah, that's true. Although,
All right. Where did that one show up here?
what is it? What city, state is it from?
It's in Sarasota.
Sarasota.
Is it at the?
There's one down there from Sarasota. It's the one that says server and arrow.
There. Where are we at down here?
Right here.
I don't know what that. Oh, I think it is. Yeah.
Well, that's somebody's. There we go. We get a lot of these as well.
All right, so a little something about this. This came in at really late last night, put it that way.
Yeah.
And none of you guys were on, so I got to the book, and
Did you get it right? What did it say?
I got it right. The Florida king snake, and I
Bingo.
had emailed Dick this morning, and I was like, "Come on, please be right."
And Dick, of course, obliged.
He did.
Or
He
did he-
said,
He didn't make.
"No," but it took me a minute. But it was 3 in the morning, so I had time. I thought.
A few years
Especially
ago,
if it was in a
those
cage.
things would have been called Brooks King snakes.
Brooks Kings.
Right, Brooks King.
Yeah.
that was
Why did it
South
change
Florida.
names so much? I mean, that's the one thing I learned. Everyone argues over the nomenclature. I mean, I learned it. I'm learning from you. So now everybody's got new stuff that we have to go through. It sounds like.
It's constantly changing. It's very malleable.
Why? Because it's just getting
Genetics
difficult,
and
or
Genetic
just
studies, yeah,
genetic
things
studies.
were described based purely off how they looked for all of history.
And that is why most of our names are based on the old names that you see in the older field guides. A lot of these are, with the genetic changes, look identical to one another. It's just problematic in many cases to try for identifications.
But yeah, this is what Florida king snakes will look like in South Florida.
It's pretty.
Oh, this is Sarasota, so they probably they bought this somewhere. I'm sure.
Oh, they're common pets.
Yeah, they're very
commonly,
common. Yeah.
As far as king snakes go in the pet trade, I bought one at a reptile store years ago.
Yeah, that one, I would say that is a South Florida.
That's a very south. Yeah. You go.
I-
You
this
don't have
is-
to go very far north of that. You'll see them look like the Everglades variety, or the Okeechobee variety, which are darker and
Right.
lighter
This
bands.
is what all the ones I've seen in the Everglades exactly what they
Yeah.
look like.
Yep. South Everglades exactly.
When are you taking me in Everglades?
Go.
You got a car? You can I'll give you directions. No, I just go herping. Let's go.
Let's do it. All right.
Yeah, this is a Brooks King time, South Florida King.
You got
Well, you guys wanna? Ooh, that's not good.
that was a good picture though.
It was.
Was it a good
But
example?
it was sealed up in a jar.
We don't want
Patty's probably about to give out there.
to. How was your hands?
Oh
Your
yeah.
hands are fine.
Very
So one more, right?
Very steady.
Yeah,
This
we'll
looks
do.
great.
Let's see.
You do work out a lot, right? I mean,
Oh, yeah.
you go to the gym. You don't need to go tomorrow. Arm day today.
Well,
Leg day tomorrow.
Like day tomorrow, that's right.
let's do. Let's just go to photos
Very
here
comfortable.
and pull up. What is one that we haven't? I'm just gonna go to some photos and
That's Gabby
pick a
Dog.
couple out. I'm gonna look
She's
at
dreaming.
copperhead or cottonmouth.
It's a hard life.
Look at that copperhead. That flat one.
Oh, this is
yeah,
great.
I lost it too. There's so many of these. Trying to go. We'll go to the photos real quick, do a couple more. But so these aren't submissions, but something neat you would want to talk about here. Dick, these are all your photos. What do we want to see? Want to look at a cottonmouth? Have we seen one yet?
We haven't,
I think
have
we
not
got
seen
one
that,
yet.
no.
we haven't seen one. This would be a good time to bring one up.
Let's see. Yeah, I do have one. What do we call them? Oh, Eastern. Is it
There you
Eastern or
go.
the Florida? There's a Florida in here too. You wanna look at that one?
And just as a side note, we can identify some captive animals, though. We get a lot of captive animals, but sometimes they're like ball pythons and other captive animals. But without a specific location, sometimes it's difficult to know exactly what it is because there's a lot of crossbreeding in the hobby. So that's just something to keep in mind. We can try to get it down to at least what it is, like king snake. We can't always tell exactly where it is. This in there is a very obvious southern Florida Brooks king snake, but sometimes interbreeding and hybridizations happen, so we get a lot of interesting things.
I think in a lot of cases, they're just testing us to see if we actually know what we're talking about.
Yeah,
Right.
well,
They're like, I know what it said at the pet store when I bought
Yeah.
this. So
we'll get ball pythons and say a specific location. I'm like, well, we know we got that from the pet store.
yeah, it'll say Daytona.
Yeah, it's like, well,
Okay, you got this at Repticon.
yeah,
All right.
good
People
job.
don't crop their photos real well. We get a lot of, they have the name right
The
there.
label
When they
on the tank.
go
Oh
to-
yeah, that's true. Or get stuff just pulled off the internet and given to us, and you just kind of reverse Google it, drop it into the Google bar, and you figure out where it is.
Right.
Like, well, I know where you got this.
And I know who took the picture.
Yes,
And
exactly.
I know when they took the picture, and I know where it was posted.
Yeah, it's hilarious, but yeah.
A lot of people have seen these. Well, that's a good one.
We got a snoring dog and snoring dick. It is 8
Put
o'clock,
this
Dick.
over there.
What's your bedtime?
Oh, boy.
Early bird special. Hey,
There we
there's a
go.
cottonmouth. Hey, I was there when you took that photo.
Oh, that's a pretty boy.
I wonder why they're called cottonmouths.
There we go. This is perfect. Yeah, here's an example.
So we have the yellowtail again,
This is a young one.
young. So we had one today. Obviously, it could resemble a copperhead if you didn't know what you were looking for, but with
It is
the,
copper in color,
The colors.
Right.
but
And
They
again,
look
very
okay.
vibrant colors, right?
Yeah.
But they can
look
see a
kind of
distinct
like a
eye
mirror
stripe.
image of the-
Yeah, instead of big dark blotches, they have
Yeah,
light
negative
blotches.
image.
Right, negative image,
you
exactly.
see the dark eye stripe? Very
The
nice.
Dark eye stripe.
And the vertical stripes on the rostral scale, the nose tip scale.
Also, another good way is if you can see the eyes, is
Like the nostrils.
cottonmouths
very
have a
tip.
dark band in the eye, and
Like-
copperheads do not.
Booger stripes.
Cottonmouths have a full solid cut
I
eye.
know that. Yeah.
You want a picture of them or what?
Well, I'll pull up one on here too, and then we can.
We pull them.
Yeah. All right. So what we'll do here too. I wanted to go. Oh. What is Dick got going on?
Get in trouble. Oh, put them both out. Dick's going double fisting. You're not double fisting, you're single
Uh-oh.
fisting. Let me shut that for you.
Show it off.
Wanna grab him?
Want to take a
Hey. Now is this an Eastern?
No, this is a
This is a Western.
Western.
Western coach whip.
And we have those in Florida?
We do not have these in Florida.
So where the heck? Oh,
This is Texas.
that's what I thought. But
yeah.
where did you get it?
This one's
Brought it home. I thought so with the.
To fully appreciate these snakes, you have to see Jake in action.
Oh!
Yeah,
Look.
I'm getting there.
You're there, man. These aren't gonna hurt
I know.
you. These aren't gonna hurt you.
Jason, you're doing very well.
I've gotten bitten in the eye on several of these snakes before, and nothing really happens. Just little
Yeah.
blood.
Is
Little
this what
blood.
we're gonna do?
Little blood. It's okay. Bloodletting, you call it. And he's look. They're very visual. Look, you can tell he's looking at everything. As we're moving, he's looking at Dick's face actually. Oh, that one is bigger, huh?
That one is filled with mice right now.
It's very fat. Look at this.
Yeah.
Look at that thing. That thing is thick. Yeah, that one's got. Yeah, look at the length on this. How tall are you, Sean?
6'3". So
About 6 feet?
Probably about
Pretty close.
6 feet.
It's bigger than I
5.5.
thought it was. That's actually 10 feet of snake in that little
Yeah,
hide box.
that's big.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that pink belly.
yeah, awesome colors on
So
these
these are-
Western guys.
There's one of the color faces of it.
Oh, you want me to go back?
Go back to it. Yeah,
Ooh, there we
that's
go.
the same snake, isn't it? That's an
Like
old
a-
photo. That's a slide. Where'd you get that picture? Where's that one from?
That was from up near Fort Davis.
These are the longest snakes, right? Did I just ask that? I was
They're
pulling up.
go up to about 103 inches long.
They're up there.
Longest in the U.S.?
Very close.
think they are.
Between them and the eastern indigo snake.
There's a record of that one giant bull snake too.
That's true.
And bull snakes,
That's
yeah,
true. Bull
you're
snakes get
absolutely
huge.
right.
They're all pretty big snake. Not as girthy.
As far as I'm aware, the longest snake measured in North America was a bull snake a few years ago.
Look at this guy.
And I bet he was taken out of the breeding population.
Okay.
All right. Well,
Yeah, it's
I
all
think
about
we
bigger
went
hand.
through it.
Hey, what? Hey, they're friends.
I know.
These are nice guys.
Are you letting me take him home?
Yeah, that's right. Well, you know.
Okay,
Big
good
man,
guy.
big man.
And you'd have to fight me for this one.
You're gonna take it?
This one I put in looks like a female, I don't know what
You
that
see
was.
the tail?
I think that hat fits you really well.
I bet that's a male.
Yeah, I'm hoping, man.
Who wears it
Here we
better?
go.
Cool.
Well, who wears it better? Yeah, well, obviously me.
And that was another Western, that was a baby that we found
Oh.
2 years ago.
Yeah, I know where that one's from. That's a young one. It never pinked up. Similar area as these ones, but just didn't have the same pink coloration.
Anything that we want to look at that gets really confused with others? No.
It's a pretty snake, isn't it, Sean?
You already showed the cottonmouth, the
Mhm.
copperhead.
Mm-hmm.
Saw one similar one on my Arizona trip, but it was off the road long before I could get to
Yeah.
That's pretty much how you, yeah, that's pretty much the, yeah.
You ought to have seen Jake on these.
it.
I darted. I zigged and zagged, and it did zigged and zagged the wrong way.
Do you guys play pranks on each other when you're out there? Or,
Oh,
no?
me? Oh, well, have I got you with anything before? Yeah, I may have gotten dick a couple times with some things. White speckled rattlesnake, maybe. Yeah. I made one out of clay, and I just kind of left it in the wash. And I hinted that it might be. Look under that bush over there. Got one. I'm like, oh, you did? Where? He's like, right here. He walks up really close, and he
I
says,
never
he
took a
says,
picture of that
he
either.
says some vulgar words and moved on. Not vulgar, but you know, name calling.
No, they were vulgar.
Yeah, they were mean to me. But we moved on. I still have that snake. Yeah, you can take a picture if you want. At least you can have one.
Okay, and in parting, what do you want to say?
Parting words. What you
Well, this is the last one I wanted to show.
That's
got?
another
Another
common
climbing
one.
snake. Yeah, one we see.
So
One you see in your garden a lot.
this is what started this app. The
Oh,
ring
That's
app.
right, yeah.
Pool,
So
right?
in my pool,
Yeah.
and because it's really small, it might have helped. But my whole family walked on water, and my son, he usually messes with everybody. Carson, you know, cried wolf, and we're like, yeah, sure. And there was, so we all jumped out, and it was, you know, 4 inches, 5 inches, and I'm just thinking, why are we so scared of this little tiny snake? And that's what sparked it, and so
It's a little light bulb.
thanks
off
to
your
the
head.
ring neck.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did. So
And that's
Just
the
started-
talking with Jack Facsetti helped you cement your desire to show all this.
it did. Yeah, Jack Facini down in Kissimmee. He was probably a little reluctant to meet me at first, but I had a few months of up all night, running in Walmart at 5 in the morning, no joke, to get printer ink, and just kind of went crazy with learning all these different things. I mean, you know, spots on the belly, the colors like this, the markings. I learned real quick that, you know, what a blotch was, what a stripe, a saddle.
Yeah.
You know, so there are distinct things with every snake, it seems like. So, and then when you throw in geographical location, that's what makes really this whole thing tick,
Sure.
right? Is knowing the location. I
Yep.
mean, you could tell when Eastern Diamondback, but Western. But yeah, the app is thanks to that guy.
There it is.
So,
Very
you
cool.
got over there. You taking photos
Oh, cameras, yeah. This is show you.
of the camera. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think the real thing we can really take away is, you know, education. You know, take photos, take really good photos, take as best photos you possibly can. Like Sean said, you don't need to handle it, you don't need to kill it, you just need to take a picture in a good distance away, safe distance, and as long as the snake is in frame, we can tell you what it is. You know, and we want you to educate the country, the world, hopefully, and just to learn that these snakes are not dangerous. I mean, they can be potentially dangerous, but if you are educated, you may learn. Oh, we're getting our, You shocked him? You shocked the snake. He didn't feel a thing.
He's probably like, this, you're old and so
But,
gentle.
You know, just leave them be.
Yeah.
Don't screw with things you don't know about.
And why are they called coachwicks, Sean?
Well,
There we go, this is good.
this is not maybe the best example. The Easterns, I know, it's you know, they've got the dark portion of the head and the several inches behind the neck, and the lighter body. It looks like an old-timey coach whip.
That's
And the tail looks braided sometimes.
Looks
It's a
braided,
yeah.
right, like a braided
Yeah.
leather.
Well, if you need help knowing, the app is free. Download it. We're there behind the scenes, submitting your photos while we're building up a machine learned system. So this all is going to be automated, but it takes a lot of photos, good ones, bad ones, and we will be there soon. But we are going around the world. We're in ID and Snakes in Australia, South Africa, South America, where else? We've had 30,
Asia, lots of
Asia.
Asia, Thailand.
England,
Europe, yeah.
Yeah,
A
yeah,
lot of
Europe.
Spain, a lot of Spain, yeah.
Canada. I think they have one snake there,
Got
too. Garter and,
Yeah.
and don't fool us, because we got one the other day from Ireland.
Oh yeah, there's no snakes in Ireland.
And
Yeah,
we'll catch that.
yeah, it's not something you.
But
We figured that
We
one
got
out.
the joke.
We got it, yeah. But
The humor was not lost on us.
yeah, we got it. It was still funny. We have a little bit of humor. Not that one, but the rest of us do. We try to don't fool you. No.
Well, thanks, Dick and Patty, for having us here.
Always
So
fun.
thank you all for coming. This has been wonderful.
We've had a
We'll
great
do it
time.
again, and we'll
This is
pick
fun.
some other stuff out. And if you got any suggestions, things you want to see, let us know. We'll
Yeah.
we'll put some things together. We thought we'd show you ones actually coming in. People from Sorrento, get better with the camera. Come on.
Yeah, man, represent.
Jeez, Louise.
Yeah, we got all kinds of.
We'll be home in a couple hours. We're gonna talk about this.
Yeah, go down there and tell them.
All right.
No.
Well, anything else?
Over and out.
Over and out. Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Adios. Cheers.